My school was ran by a cult. For my sophomore year of high school, I was a student of Acellus, which was an online academy. However, now that I've graduated from high school, I realize how weird and messed up that school was. First of all, the lessons were just videos of teachers teaching things, and to be honest, some of the stuff was inaccurate. For example, I took a French class, and the French teacher would pronounce things wrong, and get some of the grammar wrong. She would literally count to 10 wrong. After each video, you had to answer 5 multiple choice questions, which were generally pretty easy. One exception was the AP Music Theory class, which questions I couldn't even Google. It was weird. Also, they would have a little message box where you could ask your teachers questions, but I would always receive what seemed like AI-generated messages, which were never helpful. All of that's nothing compared to the rest of the aspects of this school, though. So the founder and ringleader of this whole school is named Roger Billings. This man was basically an insecure about his masculinity and knowledge, misogynist, delusional man who only was in it for the money and the recognition. First of all, he randomly made the students take this robotic class, which was basically kinda like Scratch, but for 3-year-olds. You would have to tell a robot on the screen commands and it would do them. However, the entire point of this was for Roger to sell his robots. At the beginning of each lesson, there would be a pop-up telling you how the physical robots would make the class so much better, because then you could program an actual robot. The robot in question that you could buy was this tiny tabletop robot with a face and a voice. Anyways, that's just one example of Roger trying to get more money. In my opinion, one of the craziest parts of the whole school was that tuition was expensive, unless you opted into Roger Billings' weekly science live video. If you opted into that, almost all of the tuition was decreased. All you had to do was watch Roger Billings talk about science for an hour once a week. This science live video was basically Roger talking about random stuff that rarely had to do with science. He would just talk about how amazing he is. One thing he would constantly talk about is how he invented the hydrogen car first. Like what? This man is delusional. He claimed that the inventor of the hydrogen car just shared the invention before Roger got to. So weird. Something that's worth noting is how Roger treated his co-host, this woman. Whenever he would talk about something scientific, she would chime in and talk about it as well, and he would look at her and say something backhanded like, "You know about that?" And he would basically always laugh at her because he thought she was stupid. He was so misogynistic, it was insane. It's so crazy to me how the only way for a parent to get a discount on the tuition was to let Roger Billings say whatever he wanted to their kids for an hour each week. What's crazy is that Roger Billings only has his credits because he founded the college that he graduated from. Like, are you kidding me? Okay, now here's the grand finale about Roger Billings. In the 1990s he founded a church, the Church of Zion, which, if you know, is related to the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. If you know anything about this cult, you'll know how dangerous it is. So much polygamy and child abuse goes on inside of that cult. Roger Billings began running the online school, and using his weekly live sessions to spread his religious propaganda.